gives a free gift of money to people who want to get married.
Well, yeah, they don't give a free gift. It's a loan. It's zero interest, and also they give for some businesses zero interest things. It's not just a giveaway. It's just a zero interest loan, and most of the people don't pay it back. But
please keep your hands out. Way in the way back on the left. Yes, sir. If you could bring a microphone.
Thank you, Ambassador, for the comprehensive presentation. I'm Adl Al-Sheikh. I come from the Arab region. I know the positive role is being played by Saudi Arabia for solving...
I can't hear you very well. Can you speak up, please?
I come from the Arab region, and I know the positive role which is being played by Saudi Arabia for solving the Israeli-Arab conflict. Could you tell us your personal view about the future of peace in the Middle East, taking into account that there is a new administration in America, and there is also a new government in Tel Aviv, and we know that there is an Arab initiative for peace, which was originally a Saudi initiative. Thank you, Ambassador.
That initiative that was laid down by King Abdullah and agreed upon by all the Arab countries is the only way out. The Israelis got to wisen up and say, we got to really have peace once and for all. And we, I think with the present American administration, Mr. Obama, it's very clear to them that this is the best for the region. You know, lots of us in the diplomatic side and otherwise believe that once you resolve the Arab-Israeli problem, you don't resolve the rest of the world problem, but you will resolve a chunk of problems in that area. So if that means anything, it means Mr. Obama's administration must do well to do it. Not only do well, but make sure that they do that. I had a meeting with Dr. Susan Rice yesterday, and there are lots of plans in the making to go after that initiative, because that's the only thing left, and it cannot be treated forever. And hopefully both the Palestinian and the Israelis will find that a viable solution and sit down and make it happen.
No, but we need to go deeper into this. The question is the King Abdullah plan, and now you have a US Obama plan, which the Secretary of State has spoken about. Is it the same plan, or is it two different plans?
It's all the plan says let's have two states. I wish Mr. Arafat, God bless his soul, have agreed to that with Ehud Barak and Bill Clinton a while back, and not to fuss around by who has Jerusalem, where is Jerusalem, and the 48, the Palestinian of 48. We haggled on a lot of things that's not worthwhile. A lot of people from that time to now died. And hopefully that both the Israeli and the Palestinian will grab this, anything that will happen that make two countries coexist, and they can work out the details.
We have time for either one complicated question or two simple questions. On the left, I have a bad feeling this is going to be a complicated question.
Very complicated question. I'm Riyad Nasser, I'm professor of sociology here. I had a question which has two small sections. One is, what role did Saudi Arabia play in stabilizing Iraq in the last, we know that according to the American media, the surge did stabilize Iraq, but there are other reports that saying that Saudi Arabia played a different role in contributing to the stabilization of Iraq. The second section of the question relates to the United Nations Human Development reports in the last few years. They have been issuing reports about the future challenges for Arab countries in the region. How do you face those challenges, and what are the Saudi Arabia plans for the future? Because if those challenges, according to the reports, if they are not met, at least partially, that certainly will destabilize the whole region from within. Thank you very much.
Can you say what kind of challenges are these?
Well, they're talking about the challenges of employment, the challenges of housing, challenges of education, many other challenges that the Human Development reports outlined in details.
Okay.
And I believe your ambassador participated in one of the sessions in Britain about a year ago. There was a kind of international Middle East conference there that one of your ambassadors had participated in that. Thank you very much.
To answer your first question about the involvement of Saudi Arabia in Iraq, you know, the King Abdullah had one of the first people he met when after about 3 years ago, or 2.5 years ago, when Mr. Maliki became the Prime Minister, is Mr. Maliki. And he really promised a lot of things, and King Abdullah wanted a couple of things from him: that Iraq stay Iraqi, 100%. And the influence of others from outside will stop. All of these things were promised, and he came into Saudi Arabia, promised a lot of promises that he didn't keep, actually. Now, in the last year and a half or so before the election, the last election, we noticed that Mr. Maliki went to Basra and cleaned up the terrorists who are Shiites, mainly. He is a Shiite, but he didn't care. He came back to a Sadr city in Baghdad, and he cleaned that up. So that he hit also the Sahwa people, which are Sunnis. So he hit everybody that was destroying Iraq. We see these things, and I think you will see changes in the future because for the support or support of Iraq. Now they want us to send an ambassador, and it's not really very safe in there. Some countries have gone, and I was talking to my counterpart, the American counterpart. He says, "But we have the green zone." I said, "The green zone, you guys, they throw mortar bombs on it very often, and that doesn't make me feel good, as an ambassador going there and serving." So we need to address the issue of security. But I think the kingdom will be involved in Iraq in the very near future. Now, the second question, we have given the United Nations with the windfall of the oil and all of that. We've been very generous, I think, the kingdom with the United Nations, given to the things. We gave them $500 million for the poverty, impoverished countries, and another $500 million for the people who need to use the energy, like oil and things like that. This is other than the programs that we're paying for the polio attacks, the emergency funds, all of these things. So I think we have used some of this windfall money to internationally wisely.
One last question. Front row on the right. And please introduce yourself.
My name is Wahid from Yemen Mission. At the outset, let me welcome you for being with us today, and thank you for your rich and valuable information. I have a small question, and I apologize to come back to the issue of oil. I think that, and you agree with me, that the oil has a negative and positive impact on the society. And I think that you have already covered the positive impact of the oil. Can you shed some light on the other part, which is the negative impacts of the oil in the society?
You're talking about, I guess, the environmental issue.
No, social.
No.
In general, politically, economically, and socially.
Oh, well, then that's much easier than the environmental issue. Economically, actually,